Well, how are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? This is Mariano Vula here speaking, 24 years of age with high functioning autism, even though, and besides having my autism, I also do suffer from attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, better known as ADHD. And right now, I am making the second part of how to treat ADD slash ADHD. And in this episode, I wanted to talk to you about the two disorders: attention deficit disorder and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Now, and as we all know, they're all the same thing, except that as for ADD, it doesn't contain any hyperactivity. And when you see and this is important for a lot of the parents that that have children with this problem. And the most important part that parents need to look out is the signs. Yeah, the signs are the most important thing to look out at a child. And it's important that parents need to take action in what it is. So, well, the one that I have ADHD is, of course, it's what makes me having a difficult time focusing. Sometimes I can be able to be more hyperactive and stuff, and there will be times that it isn't easy, but the only way that I can able to treat my problem is through medicine. So usually I take most of the time, like from in the morning, the daytime, and the evening. And when you look at a lot of people with ADHD, I mean, there will be times that every time you think about a person that has that, they think that they're stupid, they're lazy, that they can able to do nothing in life and stuff like that. But at the same time, we're just people that at the same time we have insecurity of understand and focus on what we're doing, but at the same time, we are just people, just human beings like everybody else. And then there's, of course, attention deficit disorder, same symptoms as ADHD, but unlike ADHD, it doesn't have any hyperactivity. And, of course, I mean, sometimes it isn't easy having those problems, because you really want to do things like any normal person can do. But we all know that both of those problems does not have cures. Yeah, I mean, I know it's sad, isn't it? But at the same time, the only way that a person with ADD and ADHD could feel better is to take medications. So that way they can able to focus on what they're doing. For example, I mean, there are a few people that has those problems, with ADD and ADHD. And like I was mentioning the last time, I do have a friend of mine, who goes to the same college that I go, that, does suffer from, attention deficit disorder. But even though despite, whatever things that he has been going through dealing with this problem, even though he still deals with it to this day, I mean, it isn't something that, it doesn't really affect him a lot, because through medications, he manages it very well, and he's able to at least live a normal life just like everybody else. I mean, he actually lost his own place. I mean, he takes responsibility in what he does. I mean, because everything that he does, it has to do with how you focus and what you're doing. And that's exactly what he's doing. You know why? Because he manages his problem. He takes his medications every time that he needs to take, because that's the only way that he can so his brain can able to function very well. And that's the most wonderful thing about it, And this is important because I mean, and this is something that he didn't have like through later in his days, like from his teenage years or through his adult life, but this is something that he's been dealing with all of his life, And apparently it isn't easy, but at the same time, he manages it very well, because that's the only way that he can treat this problem, And there's nothing that he can do about it but to treat it, I mean, it can't be cured, but it can be treatable. And that's the most important thing that people with ADD and ADHD can do better, so they can able to do things in a normal way. And I hope that everybody, watches this video, because it's important that anyone that knows somebody that has both ADD and ADHD, watch this, because it's important that you have to talk to them and understand what they're dealing with, because it isn't easy, but at the same time, it is a treatable problem that has to be treated. And and I hope that parents of ADD and ADHD individuals understand what I am talking about, because despite having my own autism, I also do have ADHD, and even though I still have to deal with it, but at the same time, I cannot let affect everything that I do. And I just hope that everybody watches this video. So that being said, I hope that you parents talk to your children about it, and